Right. Hi, everyone. So, Mary back here at True Fitness. We're on True Talk, our YouTube channel, and I'm sitting here with Laura, my new best friend and guru in the holistic just approaches to getting well and kind of helping us get to the root of our problems a little bit deeper than maybe sometimes we can with our doctor. And I'm always looking for something at the next level, kind of how we do in here at True Fitness. Always working on getting you guys to the next level of fitness, health, wellness, everything. So with that, we kind of really met, not just because some friends, suggested we would have a lot in common, which we do, but she has this device called a Bemer, and I always feel like I'm Scotty and I'm gonna get beamed up like in a Star Trek or something. Not that I really ever watched that show much, but I'm going to have Laura explain it to you and the benefits and kind of give the definition and maybe a little bit of history about it. But I've done several sessions. Some of our members, we've had 3 members here. A couple of them are previous cancer patients. One who's young, has had unfortunately a host of a lot of metabolic and like inflammation issues and such. And all 3 of them have been just through the ringer with medications and processes like chemotherapy and radiation, and again, all things at points were definitely necessary. But now that I kind of drew them into this holistic kind of idea of getting well, they're super intrigued, and they've done some sessions of the Bemer with Laura as well, and I am looking to get a little bit of their testimonial as well. I'm going to give mine in a few, but I just want Laura, because we really, the only conversation I gave her when we met and she asked me if I wanted to do this, is I've been battling sleep deprivation, sleep deprivation. I'm not depressed, I promise you. I love what I do. Sleep deprivation. I've been on just a schedule that I chose to do what I love, and it just gets me up at 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, and there goes my day all the way till sometimes 9, 10 at night. And for a lot of time, I just thought things that were going on in my body that I was trying to figure out and be mindful of was just because I was lack of sleep. Like, I'm really not getting any sleep, and I'm sure I'm inflamed or feeling it this way or that way because there's not enough sleep. So I'd take more supplements, or I'd try to sleep in a little bit, or change up my diet, or drink more water, not drink more water, drink more wine, not drink more wine.
I knew you were going to say that.
So I don't know. It's grapes. I thought maybe it would work out. But so I told her a little bit about that. I also have a super sensitive stomach, and so we kind of talked about just me battling really in the last year, just some upsetting, things going on where I was just in the bathroom for too long, or, just stomach pains that just really got me down for like 4 or 5 days and couldn't figure it out, and then it would go away and then it would come back. So there was like definitely a reason why things are happening, and I choose not to go to the doctor in the moment just because I'm too nervous to be put on medication. I feel like that's always the first route. So in some friends telling us we needed to get together, I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. Maybe there's some natural holistic ways and approaches that I can take first, and if it looks like I'm not getting any better, I'm not opposed to going to the doctor and having that, and I would and I will anyway. But for me, if I can control things naturally, then that's the route I want to go. So Laura, take the floor and tell us about the Bemer, because it's pretty popular in overseas and in Europe, which usually everything is.
Usually that is the way it goes. It is a Bemer. It's spelled B-E-M-E-R, so it's not the car, and it's not, I always think about that too, like, beam me up, Scott. But I heard about it through a friend of mine who is a chiropractor, and that's how I initially learned about it and tried it. And basically it is a mat. So it's a mat that you can roll up, you can shove in a suitcase, so it's really easily transported, but it's a pulsated electromagnetic frequency mat, so it's PEMF, which means that it's waves. You know, we have sound waves that we can't see, right? We just hear them. There's a lot of energy going around us that we really can't see, but we know it's there. So this mat has these pulsated frequencies that actually we can't see, but they help institute blood flow down to the microvessel level. So down from, you know, or up from your head down to your toes, it helps your body kind of do what it's really meant to do. And a lot of times over time, with stress, with age, with things going on in our life, our body isn't flowing, so we kind of get stuck. And then the cells get mucky. So, you know, we're all made up of trillions of cells, and the microvessels that we have, you know, the capillaries, etc., we would fill for one, like my body, if it was all laid out flat, would fill over a football field.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a lot. So,
And I just want to interject that I want everybody to hear what she just said, because when I always talk about how amazing the anatomy is, and if more people studied the anatomy, that I really don't think we would all be in the position that we're in with all of these illnesses. You know, I think that yes, cancer is cancer, and some of us are just predisposed, but we're going to talk about that on down the line, that's not necessarily the case. Your blueprint is not always the case, but if we just understood what happens in our body on a daily basis, on a cellular level, I really do think that all of us, including myself, I'm trying to make such healthier decisions from the time I wake up and the time I go to bed at night, to make sure that out of, you know, these trillions of cells that I have, that I don't keep killing them off. You know, because I think you said it at one point about the whole bank thing. You did this a whole analogy the last time we were talking, and borrowing and stuff like that, and just
yeah.
and it made so much sense because yes, we may have a lot of cells, but I'm at 50, you're at 40 something, and like, you know, it's sometimes we take for granted, right? And
Yeah.
so we go, oh well, I got like 5 trillion more, that, you know, like that's not a big deal, like you know, that'll get me through the next, you know, 50 years. Not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
If you're not taking care of
anymore.
your body, you keep smoking, you keep drinking, you keep, you know, putting, you know, unhealthy food and high fats and everything in your body, and you keep thinking that it's not going to affect you, and it may not be showing, because some of you may be really good at hiding it, but the cells don't lie. Right? The cells
True.
don't lie.
They
So-
don't. They really, really don't. And I've learned that firsthand. And I actually got the Bemer for myself because I myself had to heal. And you know, all of us want aesthetics. All of us want to look the best that we can, right? So if we look the best, then in turn we should be feeling the best. But that's not all. It doesn't always go hand in hand. And sometimes,
Most of the time not.
Yeah, most of the time not. And sometimes, you know, we really need to heal from the inside out before we actually appear that we're healthy as much as we can on the outside.
Well, that would be the byproduct, you know, of you
Yes.
start taking care and thinking of you as a cell. You're aesthetically, you're gonna look and feel better. Your skin's gonna look better. Your
Yeah.
brain isn't gonna be as foggy. You're gonna move better, and ultimately, you'll have more of the energy to go get in the gym a little bit more. And then, of course, aesthetically, things are gonna happen. So
Exactly. So what the Bemer does is, after it increases the circulation, you know, bacteria can't live in an oxygenated environment. And whenever we increase that circulation, inflammation then in turn decreases. Now, here in the United States, I cannot claim you know, the Bemer does this and this and this as far as with different diseases and everything. It's a class 1 medical device. Over in Europe, it's a class 2 medical device, and that's where it originated, over in Liechtenstein. It's by Germany, and I never know if I'm saying that right, but it sounded right.
Sounded good.
And the Bemer's been very popular over there for, I think it's like 16, 17 years. It's crazy, something like that. But they do use it in neonatal ICUs out there. A lot of physicians use it, and they can claim it helps with X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But it's something that I have put into my practice for myself and for my patients, and a lot of different things that people deal with, whether it be, orthopedic issues, or whether it be, just feeling mucky and just feeling like you don't have any energy. I always felt like I was just kind of toxic, and being able to move that through your body and to be able to kind of push all that yuck out, that's really what the Bemer does.
Cool, cool. And that was definitely like our first interaction together, was Laura bringing that to my attention and kind of educating me on that, and going through some sessions. And it's crazy because, like, well, for me, I felt a little bit of heating up underneath the pad, but you lay there for 8 minutes, and of course in the beginning I was like, okay, what is this? And
I'm sure she thought I was nuts.
I'm sure. Like, no, I didn't think you were nuts personally, because I'm nuts. I mean, if I'm nuts, then that's. But I just thought, it's going to be gimmicky. I've never heard of this or whatever. But the more research, like, she shot me a ton of research, and just a ton of information on it. And I'm still going through all that information, but just listening to her, I mean, it just makes sense, right? And so this device is not the end all, just like a supplement is not the end all, just like the best training system or the best diet plan is not going to be the end all to you feeling and looking and getting better. But this is one component, and I'm super excited to just share it with you, because here at True Fitness, Laura and I are basically kind of partnering up and just offering it through the gym. We're going to try to figure out if there's a couple of day slots or evening slots that she can set it up here, and that our members can try it, and then look into setting up some sessions with her. And then she also has a practice in Barrington, which isn't too far away. I, of course, got lost, but it's nothing new.
A lot of people
I was going
do.
the way opposite way. But I've been over there. Their office is beautiful. Her husband is part of it as well. I met some other amazing doctors. The one I was talking to that night, Dr. Mary.
She was a nurse.
She's a nurse, and then her partner is Dr.
Carey. Yep.
And who is like a brainiac, right, from going to college at 14 or something.
Yeah, she was in college at 12, and she's a prodigy.
So was I. I never talk about it, but no, I'm just totally kidding.
No.
But I can't wait to meet her, and I can't. I'm learning so much, and that's this part of my life, and I wish I would have known what I know now back in my 20s, because it truly should be about the quality of life. And I think too often we're always looking at just the aesthetics and the glam, and the let me get ready for this event, and let me get ready for this party or that season in the year. And I'm here to tell you that if you keep doing this with your body, and you keep gaining weight, losing weight, and feeding it icky, and then cleaning it up, cellularly it's just killing your body, and it's turning on some tags that you don't really want turned on, and a host of problems are going to arise. But we'll do that. And then coming after this, one of our next episodes is going to be the next step that I took, is the Zyto. So the Zyto, and then what's the hair analysis called?
Hair analysis.
Hair analysis. There's two more testings, and in the whole in the world of like trying to get to the root of your problems, right? There's always a blood test. Like all doctors can do a blood test. We are networked with Dr. Riley, who's here in town, and his blood testing, his blood panel just opens up to more than just sometimes what the MD world looks at, and maybe they're just looking at like the typical like diabetes and heart issues and kidneys, and making sure that all of that is functioning, which is all legit. But what I loved about meeting Dr. Riley and then this group is that they have a more extensive way of looking at the body and our deficiencies and possible issues. And so the Zyto was my next step. We'll talk about that on another episode.